want to drop down, but so we're like more in the
Hairplane mode.
hairplane. Ooh, that's yeah, it works. We're live. I'm wondering. Maybe I need to go a little lower even. Someone would be like this. We got bigger fish to fry. I love fried fish. Oh,
Recording. Hello, this is Josh Robb and Austin Wilson from Hixon Zuercher Capital Management, bringing you the August market update.
In September.
So,
the stock indices were up and positive. Total returns in terms of return in the month of August. The NASDAQ led the way. It was up 4.08%. The S&P 500 was next, up 3.04%. The emerging markets bounced back after a steep sell-off and were up 2.65%. Small caps were up 2.24%, and the international developed market stocks, those are up about 1.5%.
all right. And my 5 updates are all animal themed this week. And so we're going to start with a former NHL goalie, which is not an animal, but he caught what could be possibly a Guinness World Record fish. He was fishing up in Canada. It was a sturgeon.
It would be from Canada.
Yeah, it was a sturgeon, which is a large fish. You don't want to eat those. Over 11 feet in length, weighing over 890 pouns.
What kind of fishing pole did he need to
It took him over half an hour to pull that thing in.
It's like a reel.
Yes. They due to the size, and they estimate to be over 100 years old based on that growth rate.
Wow.
And because of the size and weight, they weren't actually able to bring it into the boat, but he did get some pictures with it. They know the weight, though. You know why? They use fish scales to weigh.
That's pretty good. Next up, the Federal Reserve has announced that the economy has made significant progress. That's what they like to use as their term, towards inflation and towards the labor market recovery. So with that being said, they are going to be soon, they haven't yet, but they're going to be soon setting out a timeline to begin the tapering of their bond purchases, also known as quantitative easing. So they're going to be doing what's called tapering soon, and they have to do that before they think about hiking interest rates, which is largely believed to be about a year off or more.
And tapering is just simply not buying a new bond when one of the bonds mature. So letting your balance sheet work its way down.
Tapering is buying less bonds.
Okay,
Yeah.
But when they mature, they don't replace them, because currently they're replacing their current balance sheet and adding.
Currently, yeah, they're going in and buying about $120 billion of mortgage-backed securities and treasuries every month in the market. Well, what that tapering is going to be is, yes, they are going to be buying incrementally less every single month. So probably around 10 to $20 billion, and they're going to use different buckets, whether they want to buy less mortgage-backed securities one month and less treasuries one month, or a combination of the two, whittle that down from $120 billion down to zero before they think about interest rate hikes.
And then in doing so, as they mature, their overall balance sheet gets less, and that's the goal.
And their balance sheet is the highest it's ever been. So that is something they're hoping to whittle down.
Okay. In other news, in the Netherlands, they had a zoo there. They have probably more than one zoo, but they had to close it temporarily because some visitors to the zoo noticed that 2 wolves were wandering around. The wolves had escaped their enclosure and were just having a good old time wandering the zoo. So they closed it, but thankfully the wolves were returned to their enclosure without any harm and no one was hurt. It was discovered that they actually dug a hole and had gotten under the fence. Yeah. And so in interviewing the zookeeper, his response was, "Doggone it."
Doggone it, that's good. Number 3, as of the end of August, U.S. troops had been pulled out of Afghanistan. This followed a dramatic series of events where, unfortunately, multiple U.S. soldiers were killed through attacks by both ISIS and the Taliban. But this ended America's longest war on record at around 20 years that we've been in Afghanistan.
All right. Up in Michigan, a little closer to home, up in Michigan, the police got called reports of a large bird wandering around, and they were surprised to find an emu running around town. They finally caught him. They lost him for a little bit when he stuck his head in the sand, but when he popped it out, they were able to see him again.
I was going to say, did he try and sell you some insurance?
Well, that was my joke. His intention was going door to door selling insurance. Yes.
Limu, emu. It's good stuff right there. Number 4, Hurricane Ida, kind of a big deal going on right now, was the second most intense hurricane to strike Louisiana, behind Katrina.
And it was almost the exact same time frame, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Same time everything was very, very similar. It was tied for the strongest landfall in the state in terms of maximum winds with Hurricane Laura in 2020 and the 1856 Last Island hurricane. So
1856.
That's a long time ago.
Names,
how were they, and like, how did they measure wind in 1856?
How many cows blew by?
Exactly.
2 cows.
Two cows. That's pretty strong. So the storm originated from a tropical wave and was first monitored on August 23rd. It grew into a tropical depression, so it was really sad, on August 26th, and it tracked across the Caribbean and was in the Gulf of Mexico as of August 28th, where it really picked up speed and made landfall on August 29th. Over 1 million people in Louisiana, southern Louisiana specifically, were without power, and there were billions of damage done there. And due to refineries being shut down in the south or damaged in the south, many areas were without gasoline.
And following up with Hurricane Ida, there was an impact on the animal population as well. And so rescue workers had to get called in as a cow was stuck in a tree. And so due to flooding, the cow was trying to tread water, and as the flooding went down a little bit, he got stuck in a tree.
That's like something...
He was wedged in a tree.
That's something you'd want to see. You'd probably see in Twister.
Yeah, pretty much. He wasn't picked up and lifted there, but he, as the water receded, he got stuck. But they were able to rescue him.
That's good.
But they said that was almost utterly impossible. That's what they said.
What I live with every day.
Utterly impossible.
Utterly impossible. Number 5, fifth and final real knowledge nugget that you need to know about the month of August. Cryptocurrency trading, it's been hot again. Bitcoin rebounded over 60% off its July lows, and it does remain over 20% off its all-time highs, but that 60% run's been welcome for people in that space. Ethereum, on the other hand, it's being boosted by an increase in NFT trading around the world due to its technology being used for the transactions for those items. It's up over 100% from its June lows, and it's only about 10% off of its all-time highs.
Wow. And finally, in animal news, over in Ireland, there is a walrus that has been causing some trouble. Apparently, the walrus likes to relax, and he tries to climb on boats that are docked. So nobody's on there, right? But you know, just docked boats. But he's sunk at least 2 boats because of his weight. You know, they're not big boats, and so the wildlife people there have petitioned and actually got a pontoon boat for him. That's his boat that they're going to dock out there and let him climb and rest on. And so, because they're tired of him sinking all these boats.
What's his name?
His name is Wally, obviously. But this pontoon boat they have designed to look like a couch, just so he has something to sit on and relax. Yeah. So what does he plan to do? Sit on the couch and watch current events.
Current events, everyone. Can't make this up. Well,
no, I did. I made that.
That was made up. Was Wally made up, or is that his real name? Okay, that's good. I mean, that's the only name for a walrus. I think they're all named Wally. Well, this, as Josh said, Josh and Austin with Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. Hopefully you learned something maybe entertaining or something actually informative and entertaining.
Important.
Who knows? From the month of August here in September. Please remember, nothing we talk about is a recommendation, but if you have any questions about your financial situation, give us a call, 419-425-2400. Until next month, have a great one.
Yeah.
Bye.